in a way, one of my favorite and one of my most popular displays in this entire Lego room is this bad boy down here. Now, this camera is currently about 6.5 feet in the air because it's the only way I can actually get my tripod and stuff to like encapsulate at least most of this, and it's still missing some of it. That's kind of the problem with just having a monstrous display. You kind of can't fit it all in a camera frame, which is why I always struggle to get like a good picture of it, because it's like, darn, I really have to crop this. But hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Hogwarts display. If you're new to the channel, it goes to the right as well. I don't even know if you can see me when I like stand over here, but if you can, hello. This is one of my pride and joys. Aside from the city, it is my largest display. It stretches about 8 feet long or so. You can kind of see a little bit of Hagrid's hut to the right. To the right of that is the Forbidden Forest, which does need some work. Of course, we have the Quidditch pitch all the way to the side, and the Owlery technically in the background. Sorry, I booped the side of it a little bit there. We also started adding some lights. Now, this is all going to be changing as we go. So basically, so far, this right here is the new set, plus some additions, obviously. And in the background is the old set. So that is the modulars up to, 2020 to 2022 or something like that. I forget when that theme ended. Now, since the end of 2024 into 2025 and etc., we're building what LEGO calls the most detailed Hogwarts ever made, which is what the Great Hall, the Owlery, and the Boathouse are all part of. Now, recently, they introduced the largest set yet, which is the Hogwarts Castle, the main tower. It is $260, I believe, and 2,135 pieces. I'm super excited. It's a tall boy. So basically, I'm going to have to rip out the boathouse and move a lot of this stuff, but we're going to build the set first and then go on from there. I'm super excited. I think this is going to be pretty cool. I want to get everything done for it today if I can, or at least for one video. I'm not sure if I want to review the set on its own quick and then do this in the next video. So we'll see, but this is a good kind of view of what we're working with. Now, behind here, there's two different structures. This side has the rock formation that comes with the sets. This side has a custom rock wall, just because I started building it when this all started happening. So like when the new set started to get released. So this new set, I don't know where it entirely attaches to, somewhere to the right of the Great Hall. I'm gonna have to move the flying pieces, so this is going to be a pretty big shift for some things. That's why I think this one will be just reviewing the set and building it, which is already going to take quite a long time, and then from there I will do this separately. But hey, how often do you get to see the view of the Lego room? You know, not very often. It's a lot of just set building and stuff this time of year, but right now we're going to be changing some things up. Yes, my birding bookshelf is right underneath here, so if you see random bird stuff, yep, that's what we have here. It's great. But yeah, I'm super excited. I think it's going to be an awesome set. Now the box is also ginormous. I mean, look at this. Look at this absolute monstrosity here. Look at this thing. My God. This is a big boy. But that's what we're building today, and I'm super excited. It's the biggest set I've built in a while, so it's going to be pretty darn awesome. I've been saving it towards the end of the June 1st wave, specifically for the fact that, you know, if I'm doing it all in one video, I would have to dismantle a lot, and it's going to take a lot of time. I'm already behind like nobody's business on some Lego builds, so that's why I did a lot of the smaller ones first. But out of the June 1st wave, I only think I have 2 more sets left, which is kind of sad. It's this and the large Spinosaurus set from Jurassic Park, which is going to be pretty cool. However, I talked in one of my previous videos that I ordered a bunch of new bookshelves. They've been delayed a week because IKEA is apparently busy. So unfortunately, I did not start that just yet, but I want to move all the dinosaurs and stuff to their own display here pretty soon. But yeah, I don't want to ramble on too much. Here's the beautiful view. I love it so much. I have no idea how many sets or pieces or like dollars this has cost. I'm going to look one day. I don't want to know, but it's going to be pretty cool to look at. They do have lights out for the Great Tower that we're building today. I will call it the Great Tower over the main tower probably 900 times in this video. The set is the main tower, but I'm going to call it the Great one. I want to add lights to this yet too. However, I want to do one big lighting order, like order hundreds of dollars of lights so I can just do a lot of stuff. The SIG complex needs new lights. I'm debating lighting up the Dune one in the corner. If you're ever curious, yes, there's Godzilla up top, and to the left of that is Altair's sword from Assassin's Creed. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this room. There's a lot going on in here. We got some Yetis and, some camera lenses and stuff down here. But yeah, this is an awesome corner of the room. I'm so excited. Now let's get started, guys. It's hard to put this thing in perspective given my studio size. However, look at this absolute beefcake of a Hogwarts tower. This thing is gargantuan. And I mean, obviously you can look at it on paper and say, oh, that's going to be a big Lego set, over 2 feet tall. That isn't just big. That is massive. Like, it is going to dwarf everything up there. I am glad that I'm going to just do a solid review on this one real quick. And then for the next episode or two, I'll be ripping down part of that display and then going on from there. I'll most likely film the intro to that, and then start modifying everything and building around it and seeing how it's going to look from there. And I'm sure I'll do maybe like a lighting kit episode or something like that. In the meantime, I also just switched finally to the DJI actual microphone. So I'm hoping this sounds a little bit better. This will be the trial run for it, so I can adjust things from there and see how that goes. I did some test runs with the, the office and everything, and it sounded a lot better than my phone. So I'm hoping it stays that way. But yeah, we're going to go through everything room by room. I just wanted to show off scale wise compared to me, because this thing is gorgeous. I absolutely adored building it. I have one complaint, but it's the exact same complaint that I had with the Great Hall. So we'll talk about that in a minute. It's amazing. Look at this thing. It looks so darn cool. Now this is definitely, I think, my favorite of any Harry Potter set or any Hogwarts set that I have ever built. So now let's get the detailed review, room by room, all the minifigures, and go on from there. Alright, first let's go over the 12 minifigures for the set. I'll be honest, I have a list behind me because I have no idea who this person is. Honestly, no idea. Always forget. So yeah, I do have a list pulled up behind me, but we're going to start with one of my absolute favorite Harry Potter characters, Albus Dumbledore. Now, all 12 of these minifigures, by the way, are exclusive to this set, which is pretty cool. Definitely a nice feature for the money, but he has some beautiful robes going on for this minifigure. Nice facial expression as well. Great torso print. Looks really, really nice. Of course, obviously, this is going to be based off of the Sorcerer's or Philosopher's Stone, depending on where you're from, and what the title is actually going to be. So this is going to be the original Dumbledore, not, I forget, Michael Gannon, I believe it was, that replaced him later down the road. I believe in, what was that? Was that the second or third one that he replaced him in? I can't remember. Then we, of course, moved on to Harry Potter. I have him with his scared face. I am going to, I think, add some of these minifigures into the display, maybe to make some scenes. It depends, because I do want to add, obviously, to my minifigure roster up above, but only the minifigures that are a little bit different. Not necessarily 18 Harry Potters like I normally have. Then we move to Ron Weasley. I like the little jacket look. I think that looks pretty nice. Of course, you got some wrinkles on the back. Then we move on to Dean Thomas, dressed very nice in the Gryffindor gear. I like the half confident facial expression. Looks very cool. We have a few Deans now, which is definitely nice. Well, of course, Neville Longbottom. You can tell him by his face every single time, but some adorable pajamas for sure. Then we move on to Hermione in a nice little, almost Christmas-looking sweater. That would look good as a kid in the Winter Village. I think that minifigure definitely could look pretty solid there. And then we start moving into a couple of the characters that I don't entirely know. Now, this is not a minifigure that I expected us to actually get anytime soon. This is Percy Weasley. The worst of the Weasleys, but he exists. It is cool to get yet another of the Hogwarts characters out here. We can only get so many of Ron, Harry, and Hermione until you kind of get bored. So we'll level these guys out here. These are definitely the 4. I would say, honestly, these 3 are kind of the confusing ones. This is Professor Kettleburn. I have no idea who that is. I don't recall this human being ever, but he looks really cool. He's got the Santa Claus kind of look. He's got the pirate leg. It's a very interesting minifigure. I could not tell you a single fact about him. And yes, I have read the series like 3 times, watched them all. I have no idea who that is. I also realized I forgot to put on my new mic, so that's my bad. Nearly Headless Nick, not new to the entire situation here. We do have, I believe, one of him so far. At least up there. I think that's him at least. But a very, very cool minifigure. Then Marcus Flint. We'll save the 2 kids for last. All right, you got the scary teeth there going on. But overall, I really do like the Slytherin look. I think that is a really nice torso print. I will most likely, actually, you know what? I think I have him already in my Quidditch pitch, so he will likely go up above. This is Lisa Turpin of Ravenclaw. Again, I don't remember this character at all, but hey, it's a different character. We're always happy to see it, especially, Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, despite my love for Slytherin more than any of them. Hey, it happens. And then this is Ernie Macmillan, another character I have no idea of, but here, he's from Hufflepuff. But a very cool looking minifigure. They did really nice on all the torso print for these figures. Now we're going to obviously discuss the castle from the bottom part. It'll be easier if I just talk about it while it's down here. This is, of course, going to connect to the actual Great Hall. And then we'll get into my real quick complaint of what I hate about the bottom portion of these sets. So we obviously have a lot of decorations down here. These do pull out as well, and I believe just like last year, you can replace them with different sets, which is pretty cool. This is the only one that does not pull out. However, there is a mechanism to make this go up and down. I think I messed up the build for that a little bit, but we do have the chess scene, which is really cool. And technically, Harry and his broom are supposed to be on here. However, I wanted to talk about the minifigures on their own. So my only complaint really with this set and this theme so far, I hate how easy these slide in and out. In fact, on the other one, I've actually built like a little bridge to keep them locked in because I don't need them as a play set, and they're just really flimsy. So when you're moving this, please be careful because, yeah, they lock in with 2 pins in the back, but like that is no effort at all. So these do move quite frequently, so definitely be careful of that. But now let's move the camera up a little bit and talk about the rest of the floors. So we'll try and rotate it around. I think that'll be the best way to do it, but we move on to the main bulk, I would say, of the build. The Gryffindor little common room up here is obviously going to be the biggest part, but we also have a secret entrance and Fluffy. Of course, the peaceful Cerberus. Lovely. Little dog collar on him, definitely pretty cool. I did not count him as a minifigure, but I probably should have. But we do have a little trap door right here, which is of course guarded by the 3-headed dog, and the harp right here to put him asleep. So you can just scoot right down here into the actual little labyrinth down here, which is pretty cool. Door opens up right here, and there is a walkway to go out to the balcony, which I'll show you guys in a minute. This entire staircase system, except for this piece back here, is rotating, so it is pretty cool. You can actually move it back and forth depending on where you want the characters to go. Really neat in terms of a playset, and even if you display it from the side, I think that would be pretty cool. Again, this one in the back is stationary, but hey, it has to be. There's also tons and tons of portraits and pictures on the wall. Some of them are stickers, some of them are not. But overall, I didn't think the stickers in the set were too bad, given the size and the money behind it. We also do have a trophy in the back and a bust. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be something in particular. I do not know. Now, in terms of the actual room here, we do have Hedwig, of course, up top, which is pretty cool. Again, probably could have added Hedwig to the minifigure roster, but hey, it happens. We have a couple of beds, some of the jelly beans. I forget the name. I really need to re-binge Harry Potter. It's been too long. A little fireplace in the common room itself, some rugs, a lot of decor. The fireplace in the back looks really nice, and a couple of the flags as well. I wish we could get an extended look at all of the different common rooms, but I doubt that's ever going to happen. Gryffindor just is, the most popular. I would like to see a fully fleshed out version, in all of the sets, but it's probably not going to happen. And then up here, we do have a couple more, which we'll see once I move the this up a little bit more, but you know, we have a couple of the stickers and stuff in here, as well as the actual larger piece of the staircase, which does move in and out. In terms of the other side, it's not as much to write home about as the front side with like the actual rock barrier. The tower is of course massive. We have a lot of space here if you want to line up some minifigures. I think it's going to look really solid from the front once it's actually in the system. I can't wait. I'm not excited to tear out all the rocks and other stuff that I have up there and get rid of that for now. But hey, it happens. But of course, this is going to match completely with the other system that we're currently working towards. Now let's move it up one more level and talk about the very top. All right, the very top of this tower is beautiful. We do have this nice architecture work in here. These are a little bit fragile, so do be careful when you move them. Unfortunately, my piece is a little bit scratched. I'm not going to notice it once it's not in direct like LED bright light, but it happens. But I really, really enjoy like just the juxtaposition between all of this. Like, I love how this juts out just a little bit. I think that looks fantastic. Now let's move this around. It's just a large set for a small desk. All right, it's tough to try and get a good representation of everything. I'm going to move you guys over a tad bit. We'll talk about this top portion. I don't need my little cheat sheet back there anymore. We'll talk about this for Dumbledore's office first, and then we'll move up a little bit from there. So Dumbledore's office looks great. Of course, you want to check out some memories, head on in there. We do have Fawkes the Phoenix in the background as well, a letter, a quill, and his whole rack of mischievous things, and then the sorting hat. There's also plenty in the background. My light is just a little bit not perfect for this, and I'm trying to do better with the lighting. I like it, but it's tough for like a taller set like this, which is not normally what I review. I do a lot of like lower to the ground sets, so you know, I'm making do. And then we of course do have the mirror, so it's going to be maybe a little bit tough with the light, but you can see Harry with his parents on one side, and then just Harry on the other. So it's pretty cool. He's of course holding the Sorcerer or Philosopher's Stone, which is actually up here as well. In the very top, we also do have a little spider hiding out, one of the mystery paintings, and of course that Sorcerer's or Philosopher's Stone. Again, just like the bottom, you can move the stairs back and forth depending on what you actually want to do or how you're displaying it. This one sticks a little bit right in here, but it can lock in there as well, so you know, it's not going to fight you too much. I love it. I think the set looks absolutely fantastic. They did an awesome job, and I will say this is probably my favorite Harry Potter set to date. I love it. I really like the Great Hall as well. They've been doing so well with this system that I really hope it continues to be great. You can casually, like a horror movie, see my reflection mirror. Sorry about that. I saw that. I'm like, oh my god, is there someone walking in the hallway behind me? Scared me a little bit there. But that's going to do it for this review, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. Look, again, I'm going to have to spend a lot of time ripping down a lot of my Hogwarts, so we're going to be doing that on the side. Of course, I'll do a whole different intro with that one and everything else, but this is just strictly the review for this beautiful set. But thank you all so much for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you found it fun, entertaining, helpful. You know the spiel by now. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel or checking out some beautiful Lego lighting kits, you can head to my affiliate link in the description below, help you guys save some money, and like I said, it does help support the channel as well. And last but not least, if you guys want, you can follow me on Instagram, GetBricked, and now TikTok. I just made one a little bit ago. It's actually going really, really well. I'm not a huge fan of like short form content, but it is nice to connect with you guys on another platform. I'll have links to everything that you can follow me on in the description below, and that's about it. I'll see you next time. Happy building, everybody.